Okay, let's just do it. Let's just dive right in. First person is Barra. I mean, everybody knows that I like Barra. I've always had good experiences with Barra. I believe the first time that I met Barra was season 4 Super Regionals, and that was like, but that whole entire fall split when I was on United, that whole entire thing was like United versus SSG. That was all of NA basically. There was no other teams like even close to either of us. Or was it SSG at the time? No, it was LG. Was it LG? It was a team with Baskin. I think it was LG maybe at the time. But I mean, he was always nice to talk to. When we won Worlds, he was outside, congratulated everybody. When I joined his team for the first time in season 5, he was super welcoming and just a nice guy, really easy to get along with. Do I think he brought the most to a team? I mean, in his own way, yes, but he needs, like, similar to me, he just needs specific people to like work with and stuff like that. But he was honestly a really good teammate to have. I don't think there was ever like bad moments with Barra. But yeah, I mean, overall, I would put Barra in the GOAT side of things. I think he was really good to team with when I played with him. And yeah. Next on the list is Aqua. I'll just talk about it from my experience with Aqua. This was also on SSG, but he became a pretty like lazy person to work with, but he also wasn't like the most miserable person to work with. I don't think he really added too much to the team and thing at all. He didn't really like bring anything like and stuff like that to like enhance the team. So he was just kind of there. He just kind of loaded in and like didn't really like, you know, do anything outside of that. And I think for that person, I'm gonna put him below average because I just don't think he like kind of brought anything to the environment or team or anything. I mean, Aqua's a super nice guy and everything like that, but like for team purposes, I don't think he was like the best person per se to do anything like that assisted with anything, especially when you're losing. You kind of need people to like step up. And yeah, Aqua was definitely not doing much there to help with that. Yeah, Aurora, I mean, this guy, GOAT teammate, always wanted to team with Aurora again. One of the nicest people you'll ever met. One of the most like morale boosting players ever. When I teamed with him on Splice, just a super nice guy. Very good at lifting your confidence by just like being there, playing the game, and like making it easier on everybody else. Like he's not afraid to die for other people or like kind of have room be made and stuff like that. Really, really easy to work with, Aurora. Probably one of my favorite teammates of all time, if not my favorite teammate of all time. Tried to team with Aurora again in season 10. I think it was season 10 or maybe it was season 9. I don't remember exactly which one, but yeah. But yeah, nah. Aurora, really good morale booster. He's like the type of guy that like the hype man. He's really good at getting everybody hype and on the same page and everything like that. And it's kind of just like a really good feels good man to have Aurora on your team. I mean, the guy is just awesome. I mean, he's just always a happy guy. Really good teammate as well for like going out and doing stuff. I don't think like people realize like when you're in the team house or like team whatever, and you're with like a bunch of gamers. A lot of gamers don't go outside and do things, so it's just kind of yeah, it's just kind of not the best of things. Like best of things when people don't really want to go out and do stuff. But yeah, no, Aurora definitely top tier teammate, probably above Barra to be honest with you. This guy's awesome, literally legendary. This guy. But yeah, no, he is definitely a very good morale booster for everybody and keeps everybody in check and stuff like that. So yeah, Benji. I never really had a problem with Benji, to be fair. When I teamed with him on United, when I was young and learning. I think he's just an average teammate. I don't think he was like above and beyond going crazy. He was just a really good player, but I don't think he was like doing anything special, like that was like insane or whatever, which kind of just makes it like, you know, like he was just there. He showed up, logged in. He was sometimes on time. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all there is to talk about Benji, to be honest with you. I mean, there's fun stories of like, we would be practicing on a United. This is back in 2017. We'd be practicing and he'd have band practice, or like there would be band practice in the background, and the band would just play through his microphone the whole entire time. It scrims. You could just never hear what was happening. Literally, it was impossible to know what was going on. It's just so fucking funny. You just like, he would be like, the one word he would say is like, come over here, Scream, or something like that, or like, you know, he shit talks everybody and stuff like that. You just hear like burr, burr, burr. It's so fucking hilarious. Yeah, fucking hell, that was a good time. Fuck me, God. But yeah, outside that, I mean, I don't think he was ever like a dick to me or anything like that. I do remember specifically, I don't think this story was ever told. So I'm trying out for United, right? I'm trying out for them for mid lane. This is before I was on the team, and nobody was playing Kronos, and I was nervous to gank Benji's lane because Benji has he's a very strong and opinionated person, and I went over there as Kronos, and I ganked his lane. I missed fucking everything going over into that lane. Literally everything. Like, I genuinely missed every fucking ability over there. And the guy lived. And I walked out and I was like, hey, fucking unlucky. And I was just like, well, this is bad. But he didn't say anything. I think he just like smirked or laughed or whatever. And that was about it. Got the spot, won worlds, got MVP. Hey, that's what it's all about, baby. Yes, sir. But yeah. Anything else with that? Benji would mute indefinite scrims a lot. I mean, honestly, he's probably a below average teammate now that I'm thinking about it. It'd be like a thing. I mean, he was actually fine. Yeah, nah. He would mute indefinite in our scrims in the middle of our scrims, but yeah. I can't believe that team won worlds. Fucking hell. All right. Kabam. Personally, I think Kabam is a GOAT. Kabam is one of the best coaches I've had, if not the best coach. I mean, the guy is just a good mental coach and like good person to keep everyone like in check. I mean, I got a team with him and Aurora in the same team, so he's just like mental like, coach, always there and stuff like that. So
heading over.
It was just a good thing to have. Yo, Nuts, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Digest. I appreciate it. And so, yeah, I mean, I got really lucky to have Aurora and Kabam on the same team. Like, to be clear, Aurora and Kabam on the same team, that's like dream scenario for me. That was literally legendary for me. I love being a part of them. Just really good. Always wanted to hang out. Kabam was just very good at like kind of, you know, if you had to get like a mental check or whatever like that, or like you were feeling down or something, like he just knew how to fix it. Just always was like on top of everything that needed to be on top of. Always on time for scrims. I mean, the guy was really good at what he did. He had to work with some pretty hard-headed people, and he still got shit done when he needed to get shit done and stuff like that.
Heading over.
You know, yo, Pro Rogue, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, he always got shit done. It was really, really good. All genuinely nice, awesome dude. Love talking to him outside of scrims and everything. Yeah, no, he was awesome for sure. Love that guy. Miss him for sure. One player or one person that I'm gonna miss greatly is Kabam, for sure, for sure, for sure. Let's see, Elion. I teamed with him on Risky Behavior. I teamed with him quite a few different times. More, I think he was subbed. So I teamed with him quite a few times. Here and there. I would say he's above average teammate. I don't think he was ever late to anything without like notice. Yeah, he was always on time to everything. He has a really good work ethic. Obviously the passion's there to win. I'm getting dogged on right now. The passion's there to win and everything like that. And sorry about the dogs. The passion's there to win, and a really good like morale booster inside of comms and in game. I think he talks too much in comms when he should let like the players naturally play the game. But it's not like the worst thing or whatever. But yeah, he's very good. Like, I think when he played support, for example, he was one of the best supports that were playing in that the qualifier tournaments, and I'm sure a lot of it was based off of his comms, because I don't think a lot of the people chatted too much on his team, knowing those players that were on his team. So I think it was like a majority off of him and his comms and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a really, like, similar to Aurora, he's just a really big morale booster and really just an enjoyable person to play with and hang out with and talk with. Very, very motivated, and it kind of leaks to the other like players on your team. Like, if you're winning, you're gonna feel like you're winning, and like he's gonna get really, really hype, maybe overhype at sometimes, because you don't want to get overhype in comp. Like, that is actually a big thing. You don't want to get overhype. I believe in like Korean esports and like the Chinese esports and league and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they teach them to not get hype, because once you start getting hype and you like, it makes you kind of like shaky, or like you start playing a little bit worse and you just kind of want to stay focused. So it's a balance that you have to find between everything and stuff like that. But he's definitely a really good, enjoyable person to play with. I've had only good experiences personally with Elion. So yeah, it's still surprising he's not in SPL. I think not really, more for the fact that, I mean, he's tried to go through the qualifiers a couple of times, but more of a fact that I think he just hasn't really found the role that he wants to stick with. A lot of players don't like seeing players bouncing around to like 40 different roles. If he just was on set in stone on one role, I think that's the dream scenario for him, and people would be more interested on that. Like, if he sat there and grinded, like for example, like Hari did it, for example. But like, if Elion sat there and grinded support for 9 months straight, was super, super committed to streaming, showing that he's super tryharding it, he would have probably got picked up, because support in season 10, there was a drought in season 10. Like, it was empty out there, literally empty. You could not find a support to save your life. Like, people were like digging to find supports. I mean, we were digging to find a support before we even thought of Hari and stuff like that. Like, it's just, it was such it was like a dry field out there. Like, they needed some watering in there to get the supports in. So that's a big thing that I think, personally, that's what I think. I just never know it. Like, for example, he came back home and like after like 2 weeks or something, he was playing jungle again. And I just don't know like where he wants to be. So it's hard to like value that, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes he's playing mid, sometimes he's playing jungle, sometimes he's playing support. I understand that he's a content creator and stuff like that, but yeah, so yeah, if he wanted to play competitive, he basically would just have to lock himself into one role and like really, really try hard that role. So yeah, Cope was a really good team. I've never had bad experiences with Cope on my team. Back on ALG. I think he actually he thought about the game quite a bit, Cope. Never was negative, always on time. Yeah, but no, yeah, Cope was a really good teammate. Never had any problems with him. I mean, I think it was him and I's first year. I mean, Weekend at Incon and Stealth took a gamble on us both for sure. We're both fresh rookies coming in. But Cope was always a nice guy. Really enjoyed hanging out with him. He's super, super nice, super awesome to hang out with. I don't even know what he's up to now, but I hope he's doing well. Cope's an awesome dude for sure. Never had any problems with him as a teammate. I think he was pretty, like, he thought about the game quite a bit and he always wanted to try stuff. You know, sometimes would be too far, but he was always willing to try stuff. He was really try-harding solo when he was in SPL, like really, 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 really try-harding solo. Just to make sure like he was good enough and stuff like that to get better and everything. I think he studied the game a lot and everything as well. But yeah, that's where I would put Cope. But not much to say. I didn't play on the team with him for too long. But not much to say on him else or what else after that. Cyclone. Cyclone's a person I really want to team with. Like if I were to play Smite 2 competitive again, I believe Cyclone would be on the list of people I want to team with. My experience with him obviously wasn't like the best. Actually, no, it was actually really good. Genuinely, when I teamed with Spin, I think Spin and I got along really well. We hung out a ton, went out and got food and everything like that. Like really actually had a really good time together. I don't think my other teammates might have had the best experience with him, but personally for me, I actually had a really good experience with him. He was really, really smart when like thinking about the game, like genuinely super, super smart. Spin. He just understands kind of what's going on. So as another backliner, like as a mid laner teaming with Spin, he makes your job just really, really, really easy. So it was very, very nice. Teaming with him. I personally didn't have any problems with him. Like if we wanted to go out or like he had a frustrated day, I would offer to take him out to grab some food or something. We could just hang out. But definitely very good teammate, I would say. Outside scrims could be iffy, I think, with other people. I personally never ran into any problem with him. In and out of game, always enjoyed hanging out with Spin. Always enjoyed chatting with him. I think it's really fun to hang out with Spin. You guys don't see it, but you guys don't see it obviously on cam and stuff like that. But he's a good guy to hang out with. Always had a good time with him. Really enjoyed my time with him. But definitely Aurora and Spin are two players that I really want to like play. Like if I were to play competitive again, those are two players that I'd probably want to play competitive again with. Just very good teammates. Really fun. Makes the game really fun to play, and that doesn't feel like burnouty. They're also not miserable teammates to like team with, like waking up on time and stuff like that. It's very just easy. So yeah, he can be toxic at times, but overall a really good like leader in game and stuff like that. Big part of the success on I think any team with Aurora and Cyclone is because the Cyclone, he's just very, very good at being able to like read the map, understand the game and the meta at the time and stuff like that. He's just very, very wise at that stuff. So yeah. Sino, I don't remember teaming with Sino personally. I don't remember. Apparently it was on Risky Behavior. I don't even remember this. I think Sino's a good teammate. As far from my experience, I'm just gonna put him on average because I don't really remember too much, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, as far as I know, on like other teams, he's actually really good. A really, really good teammate. But from my experience, because I don't really remember him too much, I'm just gonna put him as average. But I'm pretty sure, like, if you talk to any of the guys that were on Titan or what's it called? Titan or fucking Ferryman, they would probably put him above average to GOAT, because I'm pretty sure he's actually a really good teammate. He's a really good leader. So this is probably where they would put him up here. I don't think he's too toxic. I think he can be a little bit, but I think he's fine. But yeah, I think he's that's where he would be put from the Ferryman / Titan boys. And then for me, I don't really remember too much. I do know he's a good teammate. I don't remember. I think it would have only been like a game that I played with him, or like a set or something. So it wouldn't be like too much knowledge I would have. I think he's probably just a fine teammate. Yeah, I was not with Sino on Splice. It was risky behavior that I was on him with. But yeah. Yeah, it was Andy Midgrave. Nice, Lysol, thank you. Last, I mean, literal legend, this guy. Probably the best teammate in all of Smite, I'm gonna be honest with you. Last is probably, yeah, best teammate for sure. I mean, the guy is like literally breathes fucking good vibes every single time, no matter what. I mean, the guy is like literally a mental and physical coach on the outside of scrims, and like always on time, very, very good work ethic. I mean, the guy is literally permanently smiling, having a good time. I'm so glad I got to spend the years that I did with Laz, and very, very good guy, like fantastic. Literally, I don't even have a single bad thing to say about him the time that I teamed with him. Very easy to work with, if not the easiest person to work with ever. The guy's willing to do whatever he has to do to win. I mean, genuinely a fantastic teammate. Literally nothing bad to say about him. The guy is fucking literal legend of Smite. Deserves so much more for streaming and stuff like that. I mean, the guy is absolute units in and out of game. He's just awesome. Literally no problem at all with this guy. Fantastic teammate. We've both been through many bad things for both on our teams, but actual like freaking legend, I will say. Day when I teamed with Day was actually really fun on the Kiki Skilly team. I mean, he's just kind of a goofy guy. I don't think he really brought too much to a team, but I think he was just an average teammate. I think like we all had, like us, me, Skilly, Kiki all had like a really good fun vibe on Oxygen Supremacy. It was just nice. We were all friends. We all had a really good time. It was fun, enjoyable, good time as always. And yeah, no, I wouldn't say too many bad things about Day. Day doesn't really like talk too much or anything like that, but I thought he was a fine teammate overall. I didn't really have any problems with him. I think it was fine. Yeah, I'll just put him there. Jake. Fucking hell, man. I love this guy. I'm happy we brought him into the league. I mean, my experience with Jake was we were trying to find a different support at the beginning of Renegades. I really didn't want to team with Jake just because he had a really bad name, and the guy like griefed 42 of my fucking rank games and just would keep running it down and stuff like that. That was a task in itself. This guy, yeah, this guy's a bit of a person. It was something, all right. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy, but man, he is very, very, very selfish when it comes to a team environment, and definitely completely destroyed my mental season 8. I think I mental boomed season 8 or season 9. Yeah, spring split season 9 I was okay. The summer split I was, no, I think the spring split I was pretty shitty teammate. I just mental boomed. Yeah, I think it was season 9. I feel like it was season 9. This guy mentally boomed me. Literal brick wall. I mean, he did not do a very good job at being a teammate or being on time or understand general like living things and stuff like that, to not like, you know, scream on the top of your lungs at like 4 a.m. while other people are sleeping, especially when there's like a room right below you. I I love the guy completely. He's a nice guy, like hanging out with him and stuff like that outside of the game. I think he's a bit of a goofball. But man, being a teammate of him literally blew up my mental completely. Yeah, the guy could not adapt to a meta if it were to save his life. It would be impossible to teach him a new meta. You'd be locked into a meta, things would completely change. He'd still be stuck in his old ways, and it would be over for the team. You couldn't get him to play anything. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Outside of the game, good person to hang out with. He's fine. He's he's just kind of a selfish guy, but I mean, he's fine. But he would always do stuff. He'd always hang out, like go outside of the game, but like in game, literally the worst teammate I probably ever had. Genuinely. To put it in things, I mean, like there'd be so many metas where like we would be in Worlds Push. And like we would be at our first place, because I think we were always like top 2 for bolts, and yeah, it's bolts, right? We'd always be top 2, and we would always get to like the end of the split, and then Jake would like we would literally be hoping that the meta didn't change too much, because Jake just couldn't adapt to it. And it would change every time, and it would be just so cooked. It would be so cooked. It would be impossible to win some games. But yeah, no, that is that. I'll leave it at that. Good guy outside of game, horrible teammate. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Baskin was a really good teammate when I actually teamed with him on the end of the year for bolts. I probably got the best version of Baskin. Honestly, I think his version was really good in general anyway. Like he kind of just grew up a lot from the previous years and stuff like that. But my experience with teaming with Baskin, I've teamed with him on Splice and like for a split of Splice and on the bolts, was always a very good, enjoyable teammate to have. I mean, he didn't play the game in 2 years competitively, came back, grinded super hard to get back up to speed, ended up diffing, I think, the whole entire league of solo laners when he came back from such a long break. I mean, the guy was insane. And a really good teammate, really very, very willing to do VOD review and stuff like that, you know, even though other people weren't on the team. But definitely an enjoyable guy to have on the team. But yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say about it. I mean, I think his work ethic was good the year that I had him, the years that I had him, and he was just super grindy. Good guy to hang out with outside of things, went to the gym, good guy to talk to. Never really ran into any problems with him, was on time for stuff, willing to do stuff. So yeah, not too bad. But yeah, that was Baskin. Not a terrible lad. I would say he's above average just because he cared so much about the game. To me, the above average is caring a lot. If you care a lot, I think that's important to me because it kind of motivates everybody around you just naturally. So yeah. All right, Jeff. I probably got the worst version of Jeff. This was kind of give up mode Jeff. I wouldn't say he shattered my mental, shattered my confidence, but literally just yeah, no, he's going there. Yeah, Jeff was not a good teammate when I teamed with him. The guy definitely literally, like, he didn't even have to say anything and I could just know he didn't want to team with me. it was pretty bad, to be honest. I did not have a great time. I mean, Jeff was kind of mental boomed, and stuff like that. He just kind of like, he just didn't really want to team with me. And it kind of just felt like he kind of just gave up as well. It was definitely not an enjoyable time, that's for sure. I think he was very used to like Baskin style and stuff like that, like, and everything, and it was just very, very, very unfun to play with. Yeah. So that was kind of, yeah, that was pretty rough. Yeah. That's kind of all I gotta say. I mean, it's not really much to say. He literally just didn't want to team with me, and it kind of made it shit. That's literally all there was to it. Previous years, he was probably a fine teammate, but I mean, the guy literally just didn't want to team with me, and it was miserable, and it showed. And then I left the team onto Splice, and we literally went from 0-15 to the best team and the best mid laner in the league instantly with Splice. So something was going on there. There was a big difference. So just want to make that clear. I have nothing against Jeff. Jeff's a good guy outside of the game, but yes, definitely not the most fun thing teaming with Jeff for the time I did. So yeah. So Famous Hate. Famous Hate's I don't know if a lot of people will actually remember Famous. He was actually a good teammate. I think he was a like sneaky, really good teammate. He was a nice guy. I never had problems with him. He was passionate about the game. Came in with new ideas, willing to do new stuff. I'm gonna put him like up here probably. Famous was a good teammate to have, I think. It was always fun to team with him. I don't think I ever had any problems. I don't think he like really brought too much to a team to like kind of like make the team a team type of thing. But he was a really fun guy to hang out with, and just like chat shit. I mean, we would play different games and stuff like that. And stuff, and that was kind of it. That's kind of all I have to say. We didn't team for. Oh yeah, we did team for a pretty long time, but he ended up leaving for bigger and better things and stuff like that. But the time that I had with him, I think he was just a good teammate. I don't think anything really that bad with him. So yeah, we have Hardy here. Obviously everybody knows about the season 8 Tower Boy thing, and I called him a Tower Boy, and then we got outed publicly on Twitter. Hardy kind of speaked on it on his video or his content that he did. Genuinely have nothing bad to say about Hardy. Actually, in my opinion, a really good teammate. I think I'm not going to put him in my GOAT just because sometimes, you know, he was just waking up for scrims, and it wouldn't be, you know, he wouldn't be all there. But Hardy was actually a great teammate, literally a really, really good teammate. We went into that year, or me personally, I actually was wanting Hardy for season 10 to play with him, because I thought the tournament that he played was like, he popped the fuck off. Like, the guy literally played lights out as a support. That's not easy to do. And especially in the short time that he played and the teammates that he had, I think he played very, 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 very well. And he was kind of owning in those games, and nobody was considering him in season 10 for support at all. There was like a whole like top 4 fucking bandwagon thing jerking each other off. And it was just like, yo, like, bro, Hardy is such an underrated player. It's actually insane that people were not considering Hardy after the performance he did. But I mean, that's just kind of how a lot of players are. They just don't want to help people grow and like teach them and help them learn and everything like that. People just don't have like that like style anymore. But I think there's so many sneak good things that like people just don't understand, and like there's so many just like potential. Like we brought Jake to try to grow Jake as a player, like get him into the league and like grow him. We spent the whole Renegades year teaching him, the whole first Bolts year, and the whole fucking second Bolts year teaching this guy to like become a player and be like hit his peak. Like, and he's hit his peak sometimes here and there, and then he could go above and beyond, but it's his own thing. But for Hurry, like Hurry had so much potential and people just didn't consider it. Was actually crazy, especially with his like experience behind the league and stuff. It was just insane to me that people weren't even like valuing him at all. Yeah, that's all. All honestly, I don't think I really have too many bad. The only bad things I would say is the time is that he would just show up like he just woke up or he's late for scrims and stuff like that. But genuinely had a very good time with Hurry. Like actually had a really, really good time with Hurry. I love that guy. I had a great time with him. I think he was sick. Could always talk to the guy outside of scrims. If I had to message him about something, I could message him about literally everything or anything. Guy was awesome. Frames been better this stream? No, I've dropped 89,000 frames this stream. Yeah, so awesome. But yeah, no, Hurry was an awesome teammate. So yeah. So now we're on to Haddix. Haddix was a criminal when it came to being on time. Okay, I just want to make it clear. An actual criminal. The guy was good in game. Like the guy could wake up at 10:59, show up at 11:04, and be ready to scrim. It was crazy. He was probably the only player that I know could wake up and just play, and he would play fine. Like actually, the only player. Was sometimes there would be things of like, you know, there would be things where like some days he was just not feeling it, and the scrim set was just over. But truly, I actually enjoyed teaming with Haddix. We had our like issues back and forth and stuff like that. But I enjoyed teaming with Haddix personally. He was very obviously thick-headed when it came to his ideas, and his ideas just kind of stuck. It was like throwing a fucking dart into a dartboard. If it was his idea, you could not change that man's mind unless there was like physical evidence, proof of stuff. I think he was a sick player. He sometimes had struggles adapting to things, but the guy is an insane player, insane mechanics, very comparable to Benji. But when it came to like team stuff, I think that's where he kind of struggled. I think there is actually like, for example, I'm not too sure how, let's say, like Nika was from what was he during season 9? The Warriors? Was Nika on the Warriors in season 9? He was on the Warriors in season 9, right? The Oni Warriors. I'm not too sure how he was, but from the outside looking in, I think Nika was a really good teammate in season 10. Like it kind of just like looked like he kind of fit and took a really like teammate role, and like was very like, that's how it looked from the outside in. Outside looking in. I personally don't know. I don't know anything. That I'm really good friends with Last, but I never asked anything to do with like teammate stuff. I would never. I don't think that's, even if we're good friends and stuff. But like from Oni Warriors to Dragons, it looked like Nika, for example, like comparing Nika and Haddix here, like he took a very like team oriented role and like really just wanted the team to work overall. And the guy went fucking nuclear at Worlds. Like the guy literally popped the fuck off. Like genuinely awesome. Like Haddix, it kind of like forced us kind of into like a single play style of only playing through him a lot of the time, or like if he didn't think you were playing that well, for example, he wouldn't really tell you. He would just kind of like, you kind of just know that he didn't really want to like be with you, or like he thought that other players were better than you and didn't really like have a solution to fix it. Like there would be sometimes where the guys just like literally like spam like like for me, for example, he'd be like, oh, Shin to play the Cabraca mid and like this happened, he's here all the time and this is happening. It's just like, that's not really solution to anything. It's kind of just a thing. But I don't think he was really that bad of a teammate. people are just a little bit different and stuff like that. But for that case, I'm going to put him. Oh my god, where the fuck did sock come from? I'm gonna put him on just average. I don't think he was an outstanding teammate. I don't think he was like that bad of a teammate. And the guy wanted it. The guy wanted a team to work. Put him in. You're gonna take a picture, Ram? Do you want me to just put him in there for the picture? There you go. But outside that, I think he was a really good teammate. I had never had a problem with Haddix at all. I think he was always just a good dude to hang out with. I genuinely never had any problems at all. I think he was just a fine guy. I don't think he went like above and beyond to make a teamwork type of thing. I also think he valued like certain things higher than what you should in a team environment and stuff like that. But yeah, I think he was just a fine teammate. I will actually we'll put him up here. So yeah, middle of the pack, average teammate. I think that's fine. In con, so I have a big thing. The biggest thing for me is I was so young here, so obviously these are a little bit skewed. Like for all in-con weekend and stealth, these guys kind of brought me in to the league. So it was hard to like, it's kind of hard to hate them. And I don't hate any of them, to be fair with you. I never had a problem with any of them. I was very, very grateful at the time, and I was pretty much a sponge and like learn. So I didn't know really right from wrong, from a good teammate to a bad teammate type of thing. When I joined with these guys, I was just there listening, trying to soak in whatever I could soak in and learn and grow. So I was really, I mean, honestly, I was happy teaming with Incon and Weekend and all those guys. I mean, they kind of just helped me grow and helped me become who I am now of that player. I would never probably be there or like here, like without them, taking a chance on me, obviously. So I always will appreciate them for that. I mean, personally for me, like teaming with Incon, I've never had any bad vibes with him. We were, you know, obviously I'm learning ADC, so it's kind of like, this is kind of there. I think Incon valued his stream more than he did the competitive aspect at that time. I think that was his last year, right, chat? Was that Incon's last year? I actually don't think Incon was that bad of a teammate, though. I enjoyed duo laning with him. I didn't really have a problem with him. Yeah, I actually enjoyed teaming with Incon personally. I thought he was a fine teammate. Obviously, I think the only downside was that he was valuing his stream a lot and content a lot, which is okay. You're shifting your career over, or like focusing on what's making you more money and like setting you up for the future. So literally don't, I don't have any like downside to that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think genuinely, I actually really enjoyed like learning with Incon. The guy always wanted to do a queue. When we were duo queuing, I'm still learning and like doing some dumb shit and stuff like that. Like he always put it in a nice positive way and always made me laugh and stuff like that. So I never really had any problems there. I don't think we teamed for very long. I think it was only a 3-month span. So, yeah, I never really had a problem with him. So, yeah. Kiki, dude, I love teaming with Kiki. I actually think Kiki was one of the GOAT teammates that I've ever teamed with on Oxygen Supremacy. I love this guy completely. The guy was awesome. Literally, genuinely, one of the nicest people I've ever teamed with. A positive Perry. Always put smiles on your face. Was always goofy. Always lets you hang out with them and stuff like that. Really just, it was so fun to team with Kiki. I mean, the guy was fucking fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I gotta say about him. I don't think really I have anything bad to say about him. The guy was just awesome to team with. that's kind of all I gotta say about Keek. I mean, the guy is just awesome to hang out with, and always was a good time. Really nice guy, fantastic lad. Love that guy. Always put a smile on my face. Always nice hanging out with him. So yeah, that's kind of where my head's at with him. Marauder. I mean, I've always been friends with Marauder for a long time now. Since the very beginning of Smite, I've been a friend with him. Him, Panda, Scream. Him, Panda, Scream, and Nilma were like the people that I started with, playing this game with, and like started the competitive journey and stuff like that. Was always a good time hanging out with Marauder. I don't think he genuinely brought anything to a team. I think he was just kind of there. Showed up on time as far as I knew. And teamed with him for. The guy was fucking insane at the game. When he was giving it his all and stuff like that. I genuinely had nothing wrong with teaming with Marauder. He was awesome. Very, 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 very nice guy. Have no problem with him. Super, super fun guy to hang out with. Would play games outside with him. Damn. Sorry, throat. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say about Marauder. All right, next one, Mr. Samuel Marbark. Love this guy. This guy's fucking awesome. Literally the first time I ever talked to him was in season 9 after party at Worlds. I think it was the first time I actually talked to him. Literally became one of my best friends, like super, super fast. I have no regrets of trying to push for him to be our coach at the current time. Super close to last, like same vibe. Guy always trying to put a smile on your face. Literally just one of the most hilarious guys, one of the most underrated Smites. If Smite was bigger, Sam literally would have blown up on Twitch. Like actually insane. Like the guy is fucking hilarious. Like knows how to put a smile on your face. Like just a good vibes dude. Like, I wish Smite was bigger, so he would have blown up, and because he deserves so much more than he actually got on stream and like got his views and stuff like that. I think a lot of people realize that. I think Fine OK realized that. That's like so many people realize how good of a guy he was. I wish that he just like popped the fuck off on Twitch. He deserves so much more than he got. Where he needs like to have the love that he actually deserved. But the guy, genuinely fucking awesome dude. Nothing bad to say about him, literally nothing. The guy for coaching was a genuinely awesome dude. He was new to coaching. He was very vocal about that, being iffy, and he was perfectly fine. Like he soaked in all the knowledge that he needed to soak in. He was very like, yo guys, I'm not gonna be the best coach, but I'm willing to learn and everything like that. We're on Marbach. And the guys was just awesome to team with. So genuinely awesome dude. The only times that he would miss scrims was because he had important shit to do, which he would give us like fair long time, like no like things before. But yeah, genuinely awesome dude. I wish he got treated better personally by High Res. They fucked up his jersey like 72 times. Literally fucked his jersey like 72 times. There's a lot of things that are just unfortunate for him. So yeah, but awesome guy. Love that guy. Deserves way more than he got on Twitch. And yeah, that's Mr. Sam Marbach. Yeah. Marbark. Yep. Fucked up. All right. Stealth. Stealth was not a terrible teammate. I don't think he really, like, to me, for learning, I think he didn't really help me learn at all, to be honest with you. He genuinely, I don't think, really helped me learn too much. He was kind of, like, I was still learning ADC, and he wasn't really the best, like, backliner of assisting me in learning and stuff like that. Especially, like, on a losing team, you kind of have, like, knowing what I know now kind of have to do different things and stuff like that. I don't really know what he brought to a team environment, like, but he was just a really good player and stuff like that. I don't think he was a terrible teammate though. I think he was a nice average teammate. Not really much to say. Again, teamed with him for 3 months, but I think he was a fun player to team with and stuff. But yeah, Mr. Makey. He was like kind of good. I'll just put him. I didn't really team with him for too long. I think he was just kind of below average. He was fine. That's about it. He didn't really like do too much to help win. He subbed in when he needed to sub in and stuff like that. I didn't play with him for too long, but he was kind of a dick sometimes to people that he shouldn't be, and it kind of just made problems where problems shouldn't have been. And yeah, but that's kind of all I'll say. This is not really the best of teammates, to be honest with you. Neil Ma, I believe I've teamed with him way back in a team called Scapegoat, which is with him and Panda. But Neil, GOAT teammate for sure. Vibe guy. Don't really have anything negative to say about him. So yeah, genuinely just an awesome dude. Never had any problems with him when he coached us. Was really a good guy. Good with spreadsheets. Guy fixed up so many things. Very open to spread his knowledge. Oh yeah, we were on Oxygen Supremacy. Yeah, that was a awesome team. Awesome team. I think everyone on that team won Worlds besides Geeky, right? Geeky and Skilly. I think everybody on that roster ended up winning Worlds on Oxygen Supremacy. But yeah, Neil, awesome guy. Love teaming with him. Very good, fun, happy guy. Makes a joke out of anything. Makes it just good vibes across the board. Yeah, kind of don't really have anything bad to say about him. Literally, like, legend. You guys all know the guy's hilarious. The guy's hilarious to watch or like listen to and stuff like that. I mean, he's just a good vibe guy, and yeah. Panda, teamed with him on E United. I think that was it. Literally just teamed with him on E United. Genuinely good teammate. Above average teammate, I would say. Taught me a lot about should I move him up? Taught me a lot about ADC, made my job really easy. He could be a bit crazy on times with like the ego thing, but that team was fucking that team was crazy. Again, cannot believe that team actually won Worlds, but we did. Because we're fucking sick, but Jesus, that team is so toxic to each other. But yeah, no, I don't have anything bad to say about Panda. Always enjoyed teaming with Panda. Taught me a shit ton when I joined the team. Made my life really easy to play as a backliner. Was really communicative in game on like what we needed to do as a teammate. Would always hang out with you outside of scrims, outside of the game and stuff like that. But yeah, really good teammate. Never had any problems with him. Would call you out on the shit that you would do. Like I think there was stuff of like, no, I don't even remember being like called out for doing stupid shit or stuff like that. But yeah, I never really had any problems with Panda specifically at all. Honestly, I'm gonna say the same thing about Mike as well. I didn't really have any problems with Mike. Personally, I'm gonna put them literally right next to each other because genuinely I think both of them are really great teammates. That's probably why they stayed together for so long. But no, genuinely love both these guys. Had so much fun playing with them. Don't really have anything bad to say about them. When I teamed with them both on E United, I think they were great teammates. It was always a fun blast to do. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know if I have any funny stories to say. Trying to think of any funny stories to say about this stuff, but Mike and I would always have some fun with it because I would always be like the fucking team punching bag on that United team, and Mike would always just make it a little bit more fun when I was getting like, cause I wouldn't like talk back. I would just let it happen. I didn't really care. Like I'm just kind of there to make things flow better. There's no point when you have like so many egos on one team. You just don't want to like jab into the middle of it because it just makes everything go fucking 10 times worse. So Mike would always be like a nice hype guy for me. He would be like, Venenu, Ven, you're fucking go crazy. Like he would just do a lot of fun things. I like, oh, it was just such a good time teaming with them and them in general. Like it was so fun. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, now that we're here, I'm going to put like, we'll talk about Scream now. I think Scream was a really good teammate. He has his problems where he's really like, you know, similar to Haddock's, really thick-headed on his ways and like has to do his things the certain way, and also tries to be a little bit too different sometimes, which causes problems, I think, with like stuff and like too many ideas or like specific things like that, and thinks of the game a little bit differently. But personally, I've loved teaming with him. I never had any problems personally with teaming with him. I think he was a great guy. I'm very happy that I could team with him for the last year. I loved teaming with him on Splice, never had any problems. Loved teaming with him on United, didn't have any problems. Again, like teaming with him on Ravens as well. I mean, he matured a lot throughout the years of teaming with him, and I'm glad I could spend the last year teaming with him again. I think we played really well together. We didn't really have any too many issues. Could always talk to him about stuff. Outside of scrims, outside of game, could always just yap to him. So for that, gonna put him up here as well with the United guys. Was just a good teammate. Obviously has his like shit takes and stupid stuff, but that is what Scream's known for, so we love him for that. There's literally nothing against the guy. Yeah. Quig, I don't remember teaming with Quig at all. Personally, I don't remember it at all, teaming with Quig. So I don't really know where I'm gonna put him. As far as I know, I don't think Quig really, like, Quig has some really good ideas. He's very similar to like, he's like a very similar like very similar genetics, where like he's thinking about the game a lot and he's thinking about the game in a very different way. So he brings a different style of thing to everything. So it kind of just makes everything kind of just flow a little bit better and everything like that. And the guy is, you know, he's obviously very smart when he comes to the play, but I don't know really, like, just because you think about the game differently and like you have your unique ideas doesn't mean you're like a really great teammate. Personally, I don't remember how he was too much. He's a bit of a guy. I'm gonna put him in below average because I don't think he was really the best of teammates as far as like bringing the team together or anything like that. I think so. Yeah, that's kind of all I'll say. Shadow Chair, he's a funny guy. I enjoy my time hanging out with him and teaming with him and stuff like that. I think he's always coached for the teams that I've been on. I don't think I've ever teamed with him, but for a coach, he's just a funny guy. Played other games with him outside of scrims and stuff like that. Was always an enjoyable lad to hang out with. For team stuff, I don't think he really brought too much, so I'm just gonna put him, you know, with Day. I think he was just kind of there for our teams. I don't think he really like did too much to make it be like, whoa, this team is super successful now. But he's also just a good vibes guy, so you always got to give credit to the good vibes. Yeah, Skilly. I love Skilly. Skilly put a lot of effort into. Skilly put a lot of effort into his teams and was a very try-hard guy. Always loved teaming with him. Never really had any problems with him. Very willing to learn. Very willing to learn. Skilly. Could always talk to him about literally anything. Very similar to Last in that aspect, where you could just talk to him about whatever. Gave it his all whenever he could give it his all, would queue with you, would tell you like, hey, you're fucking up, you're playing like shit, like that stuff, which is direct. Like you need that stuff in a competitive environment. You need at least one player to be doing it. So yeah, and not really anything negative to say. Always loved him. I mean, he's like, honestly, I'm gonna put him in GOAT tier because I think that he was a really good teammate to have. He taught me a absolute metric fuck then about the game and like about life and everything very early on in my years, and I could talk to him about literally anything. The guy was actually awesome as a teammate, in and outside of the game, and made a lot of this stuff way easier than you would expect. And there's a lot that goes into competitive. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of different things like mentally and stuff that you get into. So Skilly was always awesome for that. Love that guy. Would never, always miss that guy. Always love talking to him. Genuinely one of the most awesome people ever. So yeah. Saw it. I teamed with him for the first time ever on Splice. He was a really good teammate on Splice. He was just, entered the league. So he was, really super try hard. I believe he still had being on time issues on Splice, if I remember correctly. So that's also a bit of a thing. I don't like that stuff personally. I think it's pretty immature to have that happen. That goes across the board. That's the same for everybody I've said already, that being everyone. But I thought Sot was a good teammate like in the game. I thought he was really try hard. He would play all the meta things. He would like try to always learn. He did also have the thing that like Scream always had, which was like he was trying to be a little bit different, or like tried to make too many plays happen, and it would just kind of mess everything up or stuff like that. But I didn't really mind Sot too much. I think on the Renegades year, he was a very different teammate on the Renegades year. He kind of he would kind of wake up for scrims and then like not really be there. It kind of took him a bit. He would order food. The food would get there. We had to pause. We had to pause and wait for him to be done eating, which is now we're being disrespectful for the other team that were, scrimming. So that stuff is pretty bad. I think towards the end of the year, he did get better at it. At the beginning of the year, he was not the best at it. He would also do the thing where like he was trying to make so many plays happen on, here's Layla. He was trying to make so many plays happen. And it would just kind of mess up. Like I remember having so many leads. He would be on Thor on solo, which he was absolutely insane out. But he's trying to be a playmaker instead of a team player, and it would just kind of really just fuck us because he was trying to make so many plays happen. He would die, get picked, and then it would be over. I don't think he really wanted to team with me too much on the Renegades year, to be honest with you. Kind of felt like he kind of disrespected kind of me and Barra a little bit, I think, and just like didn't really have too much faith in us. So that was a little hard, and then obviously we ended up dropping him for Harry later in that year, which I guess I'll just go right into Harry because it's gonna kind of go right back to each other. But overall, I mean, obviously he was a hard teammate to work with in the Renegades year, but he was also a fine teammate to work with in the Splice year. I don't know like what changed between the years. He obviously has his own thing. But I don't think he wasn't, I don't think like in the tier here, like I don't think he is a below average teammate. He's probably on the bottom of average, I would say. Just because he wasn't really that much of a team player type of guy. He was kind of just always trying to be like the showmaker and stuff like that. I love Sot. I think he's an awesome guy. I think he's very genuine in what he does. He's very open with what he does, maybe too open sometimes. But he is a very genuine guy. But Sot was I think a fine teammate. Some of the stuff, yeah. a big thing that's going to tank a lot of the things if you are not on time for scrims for me. If you're not on time for scrims at 11 a.m., there's something fucked up that you're doing wrong. And I don't even think scrims were at 11 a.m. at that time. Well, maybe they were. I think they turned to 11 a.m. at that time. I think it was at like 1 p.m. or something like that. But yeah, you just can't be late on that. You just press slot lower. I don't think he's lower because he was still a good teammate in the splice year, and genuinely, like, I think he was fine outside of scrims. But I think he was fine overall. So yeah. But we're gonna shift right into Harry, because that's who we ended up dropping Sot for that year. We ended up swap trading, or did we trade, or did we just drop Sot and pick up Harry? I think we dropped Sot, pick up Harry. Harry was a really good teammate for that short of a time. The guy was super awesome and nice. Downside him, which you've probably heard across the board, is that he just, you know, sometimes he just gets stuck in his own ways and like he has to play this specific thing and like he has to do this. But Harry, overall, really good teammate. I only really have positive things to say about him. I never really had any problems with him. The guy, like, when he needed to try, he would try. He was on time for scrims. You know, he had his like specific picks that he wanted to play. He didn't really, you know, change too much outside of it. A great hype man, literally a great hype man. Really good to have that in things. Like, we'd be in fucking, I remember that like post defense thing that me, Barra, and, you know, the boys on Renegades did versus the Sanguine. And like, bro, I remember fucking Harry was like, let's fucking go, like super fucking louder if plays are happening. He was just like, let's fucking go. And it was just sick. It's like that's sort of hype man. Like, he's so good at being a hype man. The guy is literally awesome. So I'm putting him up in GOAT, or honestly, he's close to GOAT tier, but I'm gonna put him next to Hurry. I think they're very similar. But Harry's fucking awesome. I love him. I fucking love that guy. Literally just a fucking GOAT. Talk about that guy. I could talk to that guy about literally anything. Literal GOAT. Love that guy. Love him. All right, we're gonna go on to Uzi. Did I team with Uzi on? No, I teamed with him on Risky Behavior. I think he's just an average teammate. I don't think he really brought too much to the team. He's probably on the bottom, but he was a really nice guy, good to hang out with and stuff like that, but he didn't really bring too much to like the whole team environment thing, I don't think. But good guy to hang out with, genuine guy. But for team purposes, I mean, he was on time for scrims and everything like that, but he just didn't really bring much to the team. He just kind of played his thing and then kind of shifted over, and that was kind of it. So yeah, I didn't team with him for a very long time, but that's kind of the general consensus of Uzi. So yeah, very short, very sweet, never really had any issues with him. Guy was really nice, good to hang out with outside of scrims and everything like that. So yeah, all right, we're going on to Weekend, and I will be right back. So I ever teamed, the first and ever and only time I ever teamed with Weekend was on ALG back in 2015. 2016? I don't remember. 2016? ALG, whatever that year was. That was with Stealth, Cope, Incon, me, and Weekend. Genuinely think the guy was really nice. He was very straight to the point and what he wanted. So it wasn't like no cookie cutter bullshit stuff like that. It was literally like, if you needed to get that done, you needed to get that done. And like the guy, he was really smart on how he thought of the game, and like how he thought of the game. Was very willing to literally turbo and int and stuff like that to make things happen and like get things going. And like just kind of a room maker, which is really hard to find in junglers because junglers do, you know, tend to be kitty savers. So he had a very different style. He was very smart on how he thought about the game, which made things a lot easier. And obviously was very, you know, took a chance on both. Cope and I were both literally rookies going in. I literally was only playing ADC for like a month and I got picked up in SPL. So I was very, 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 very short, you know, short info. Actually gonna do this. Short info, like on knowing the knowledge and matchups and stuff like that on ADC. I played for a very short time, so it was a very, like, you know, I'm kind of just there learning, soaking everything in. But he was very honest and open and like passed on his knowledge to me. So I think that's really, really important. So yeah, and then for YouTube stuff, or like not YouTube stuff, for like, you know, monetizing yourself. That's the word I'm looking for. Monetizing yourself, was very open on how to do that, and like he was very like, yo, if you ever need help with anything, or like if you want to get into it, like feel free to reach out. And like super genuine and awesome. Like I genuinely enjoyed hanging out with Weekend like quite a bit. I thought the guy was really awesome. I think he thought of the game very differently, very smart, and was very willing to try out things and let other people try out things and like not get too pissed off at losses and stuff like that, and like take them and turn them into, you know, how can we get better from this and stuff like that. And then yeah, I remember being literally, I was super, super nervous at my the first event that I went to with them, which was at Super Regionals, I believe. And Weekend was sick at the Super. It's a funny story. This is fucking hilarious. Weekend was super sick. I'm like 15, 16, and I don't remember what I was, but it's super funny. Weekend was sick at the time, and he had like the nasally thing. Dude, why do like so parched? And then he bought like the kettle thing that you fill it up with water, and we're just in the fucking hotel that you like put in your nose and you like let it drain out. And so like we were all thinking about how to it was me, Stealth, Cope, and Weekend all trying to figure out how to like properly use the thing. I think like Cope tested it out and like did some goofy ass thing, and then Stealth was like, or Weekend ended up doing it properly where he put it in. It was just like, we were all like fucking laughing. It was fucking hilarious. And then what's it called? Stealth was like, oh, I want to try this. This looks fun. Funny. And then he did it. It was goofy. And then I tried to do it, and it felt so weird. It like came out of my throat. The stupid fucking water thingy. It was so goofy. I loved it. It was a good time. We all had fun. We all had laughs. The guy, I think he ended up paying for like dinners and stuff like that. He was just a super fun, enjoyable person to hang out with. And I'm glad I got introed to him. So I'm gonna put him in GOAT tier. I think he was awesome guy to hang out with. I think he was really, really just a good guy to learn from and get like learn and get better from, and gain knowledge in a very short span of time. So yeah, neti pot. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Wubbin. This is Wubbin. I think Wubbin was a I don't remember. I was teaming with him on Risky Behavior with Famous, right? I think Wubbin was always a fine guy to have on the team. Not really too much experience with him, but he was just a fine guy, I think, to have there. I don't think he really did too much for the team. Maybe he's like over here. I don't think Wubbin really did too much for the team. I don't recall personally. Maybe he actually was fine. We'll put him on the bottom because I don't think he really did too much for the team to actually like succeed. We went through many cycles of different teams and stuff like that to try to get better. will like try to grow and people leaving for different teams or that yada 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 yada, and then him getting picked up by Noble and being blah, and then yeah, so yeah, that was kind of how he went. So yeah, I think he was just like he's just a fine player, not really the best of teammates, but he was just like kind of fine. I think not really too many stories on that. Yeah. Zeno, I didn't really have too many problems. I know he was not the best teammate on LG, I think, but I'm just gonna put him at below average. He's a really good guy to hang out with outside of scrims and like play with and hang out with, but like being there on time, he was not there on time. I don't think he was like adding anything to the team to succeed, but he was a really good guy to hang out with. It was fun learning and growing together and stuff like that. We came like better, but I don't think the guy really like added any like sort of value to the team. He struggled to show up on time, I think, to games and stuff like that. He was not like, he was kind of just not there really doing too much to help anybody like get better. But yeah, I mean, not really much to say. He's a good person to hang out with outside of scrims, but that's about it. Yeah. Ro, love that guy. Guy is super knowledgeable, really good coach. Didn't team with him for too long. Always had really good conversations with him. For the times that I teamed with him, definitely we definitely got into it back on Renegades. Like our opinions were very different from each other, so we definitely, you know, had our moments of getting it into each other, which players and coaches really shouldn't be. That's how it shouldn't really be too much. But overall, I mean, I love Ro. He's a really nice guy to talk to and hang out with. I'm gonna put him up here because I think it was always a good, enjoyable time to hang out with Ro. But yeah, we had our moments of going back and forth and stuff like that, but obviously Renegade's year was kind of skewed mentally. My mental was shot by you know, Jake Sot kind of that year, so my mental was cooked. I also had to take a role as a mid laner for shot calling, which I have never done before because Jake couldn't speak, so I had to do it, and that was really rough. That hurt my play tremendously. That was probably my worst year of performance ever, but that's just because I'm tanking my own play to benefit the team, which was pretty rough. And then the year after, I went crazy because I said I'm not going to be fucking calming anymore because it's absolute dog shit to be calming because it hurts your play so much. So yeah, so I stopped calming that year, played a lot better on that Bolts year, was kind of going crazy, and yeah, but yeah, no, I love Ro, was awesome, good hanging out with him. So yeah. Moving on to Zap. Zap was actually not terrible of a teammate. He had his moments of, I'm sure you guys heard from the Hari thing. I was like, that was not funny, and then, or that wasn't funny, or whatever it was. Then he cancels, or then the scrims were over, and then we all ended up laughing and joking. But really good life lesson guy, very straight to the point. Of like what was needed to be done. I got probably the best version of Zap as far as the things that I've heard. You know, unlucky. He was always on time for scrims, early for scrims, very mature about that. Always on time for scrims. Knew what he wanted to do, to get better. But yeah, awesome player, really good hanging out with him outside of scrims. Went out for drinks and stuff with them and had a good time. Just a really nice guy. Never really had literally any issues with him. I think we worked pretty well together. I think he like died in lane, and then Hari said something. I don't remember the exact thing, but Hari said something, and then he was like, "Oh no, Zap died in lane." Like he was kind of in a mood, and Zap kept like kind of dying in lane, and then Hari like Zap said something. He's like fucking ganked this guy or something like that, and then Hari laughed or like chuckled or something, and then Zap was like, "That's not funny," and then ended it. And then that scrim block was over. Everybody was silent after that and stuff like that. But we all ended up laughing at it. There's no like grudges held, which is a very mature thing. But I actually enjoyed teaming with Zap. I actually think he was a pretty good teammate, honestly, above average teammate, to be fair. I think being there on time, being mature about things and stuff like that, being open and willing to talk to, direct to the point, no like fucking cutting around the edge and shit like that, which makes like everything take so much longer. We, you know, outside of scrims, we went out to like bars and stuff like that and grabbed like a bunch of beer. We would talk shit and like, you know, just have a good time. It was really good. So yeah. Andy. Honestly, he was, I think I got when I first joined with Andy, I think it was good. I think the team went really well. And then when it became the year after, when we were still on the same team together, I believe I could literally tell that Andy didn't want to team with me, and it was really unfun because I'm having fucking Jeff and Andy both not want to team with me. And honestly, Aqua didn't really want to team with me either. I could tell it did not feel very good. It was very unfun to be there. I also don't think they were playing the best, and it was making things way harder than it had to be. And he didn't really bring anything to like make the team kind of work together. He was kind of like a fun guy, but I don't think Andy was really the best teammate when I played with him personally. And then also I got kicked and he swapped roles, and then yeah, that was fucking troll as hell. And then I ended up fucking going Poggers mode that year. So, you know, yeah, Andy just kind of, you know, he just wasn't really bringing anything to the team. He showed up on time, but really outside that, I don't think he was really bringing anything to the team of value personally. And also I just did not have the best of experience with that whole team in general. So yeah. Gilly, I don't remember. I don't remember teaming with Gilly, so I don't really know. Didn't you leave for Splice? Oh, I guess technically I left for Splice. Kicked, leave. I mean, it was all the fucking same thing. You know how it is, Mike. You know how it is. Over everybody wants to say you're getting kicked, but literally, so how that whole thing happened, I literally got asked. I got asked by Splice that year from Aurora, and I said I didn't want to leave like SSG because I mean it was a fucking sinking boat. The mental on that whole entire team was fucking ass, and it was literally imploding. And I didn't want to leave Barra because it was fun teaming with Barra and it was nice hanging out with him. And then Aurora just like chatted with me and stuff like that, and also just made a fuck ton of sense. And then I just was like, okay, I guess the correct decision is to leave. And then Andy swapped the mid and picked up Sino, I believe, at that time. And that team still was a fucking sinking boat into the bottom of the depths. So the team was like 0-26 or something like that. That team was, yeah, that was not a fun year to be a part of. So yeah. But yeah. Yep. Pretty sure I was getting kicked no matter what, Mike. So technically speaking, I got kicked from that team. I guess we could just kind of go on that, but that was not the best of best things. Yeah. Divios, I mean, he was on the team for 2 fucking weeks. The guy was literally awful as a teammate. I mean, the guy is literally in mid scrim, fucking running it down, dying off cooldown, and alt tabbing. He would die, alt tab, play BDO, spawn, go to lane while he's running to lane on auto walk, alt tab back into BDO. And then run up to lane, get into the tower, stand there in that tower, let the other guy clear. He's playing BDO. And then fucking... no, I was talking about Andinster, Bobo. This guy. Andinster. This is Elion. Yeah. Fucking bro. And the guy literally, there was a moment, I think I was on the team for this. I don't remember. A lot of this stuff got mixed together. Dude, I don't remember who said it, but someone was like, "Can you like stop inting?" And then he was like, "Don't worry, I can show you inting." Ran it the fuck down, and then scrims were chalked. That was it, and that was it. That was it for the day. That's literally it. I had the guy on my team for like 2 weeks. I joined the team, and then everyone decided literally instantly that they could not keep Divios because the guy literally mental boomed the whole entire team. Was a literal awful teammate, as far as I know, and then that was it. So, yep, that's all my experience was. I teamed with the guy for 2 weeks and it was probably the worst team I'd ever had. So, yep. And Ghost. I don't know where I'm gonna put Gilly, by the way. I don't remember teaming with Gilly. So I don't know. I'm just gonna leave him there because I don't remember teaming with him. So yeah. Ghost. We're gonna go with Ghost. Ghost, fucking love that guy. Love Ghost. He's such a goofball. Genuinely, he's just a fun guy to hang out with and be. I mean, teaming with him, he just kind of he was just kind of there. I mean, he didn't really bring anything too much to the team per se, but he was just a good vibes guy. Like genuinely, just a nice, funny, good guy. I know Barrow always talked highly of him. He was just kind of good, you know, good vibe guy. I mean. Honestly, I'll put him in average because I think that's an important thing. He's just kind of there having a good time, never negative, and just like he was also a straight to the point guy where like you'd have to get shit done. Like he was kind of be like, "Yo, guys, I'm getting fucking Omega Dove trolled. Like this is ridiculous," type of thing. And yeah, I think that's the tier list there. I'm not gonna put Gilly in because I genuinely don't remember. Let me just look back at this. Just to make sure that I'm happy with this list, thinking about it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this list. I don't think I would. The only person I might move is Sot, just because of that Renegades year. He was literally one of the worst teammates that Renegades year. I'm already dealing with Jake, and I'm also having Sot being that year. But I'm not gonna put too much stuff on it because I know he was going through his own stuff. So I'm going to actually keep him at average. I think he was fine. It's also, I believe it was his first year moving there. So that's also pretty stressful when you're full-time moving there. So, yeah. I think that's kind of it. I don't think there's anything more to it. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of happy with where everything is. I don't think there's any more mental shatterers.